ọ̀lẹ́ alákọ̀ọ́má ṣiṣẹ́ olówó fẹ́ flex yo. No food for lazy man. Paddy, double your work. Anything where you want to, you go get am if you work. Má wá gba alágo ṣiṣẹ́ o. Stop living fake life. Òróró no be good boy.
Good afternoon and welcome to Standard Television on your favorite program, Inside Life. Inside Life is a program which centers around things happening in our society that affects both the youth and the adults in the society at large. Well, today we came up with a very kind of particular topic which has been a bone in the neck in so many people's mind. Well, what's the topic? The effect of self-medication. Now, self-medication has been in existence well dated back during the time of man's existence. Well, I'm not the only one going to do justice to that. Before we bring the guest, we're going on a short commercial break and we'll be back to do justice to that.
Hey, big head. I saw you. Where are you?
I'm at the bus stop.
Okay, dinner is ready and mommy wants you to come home.
Okay, I'm coming as soon as I get the bus.
Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, this is Inside Life, a program which tends to motivate a lot of people out there, changing their perspective about one or two issues that affect them at large. Well, I'm not the only one in the studio, like I said. My name is Lovelyn Kokwe Agbeble, and I'm going to be your anchor for today's program on the program. Well, I have a very respectable personnel with me in the studio right now. Well, he's going to introduce himself and he's going to do justice to this particular topic of concern. Sir, may we meet you?
Okay, I'm Dr. Keno Onyebuchi. I'm a maxillofacial surgeon in the Federal Medical Center, Bida. Hope to do justice to the topic you just introduced.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. Well, sir, can you tell us what is self-medication? When we hear self-medication, what is self-medication to you?
Okay, self-medication is basically the use of drugs, medication, without the input or consultation of a physician in terms of diagnosis, dosage, and monitoring or evaluation. Because drugs, even after a drug is produced by the pharmaceutical company, some of the effects that were not initially known, some of the side effects over time following usage, there's what we call post-market surveillance. So they have to look at it, see the reactions, some untoward reactions that patients developed as a result of use of these drugs. So if an individual is self-medicating, might not be able to pick out some of these effects or sides adverse reactions. So that's basically self-medication. There are two types: the responsible and irresponsible one. The responsible one is when an individual that has adequate knowledge of the ailment, the symptoms of the ailment, and the appropriate drug to use goes ahead to take one. While irresponsible one is the one that an individual that has little or no knowledge, particularly the one that has little knowledge of it, because individual will tend to assume that he or she knows, but in reality doesn't know much about that. And when such actions are taken and effects arise, you might not be able to pick out the adverse reaction. You might not even know what is going on really, in true sense of events. So that's the one that is people pick against is the irresponsible use of medications without proper diagnosis, consultation with a physician. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, another question that bothers a lot of people is, what is the difference between first aid and self-medication?
Okay, first aid is basically the first line of treatment the individual receives before consulting a health center or a physician. Usually, part of it could be self-medication, but it's usually not things that are serious. For example, if you sustain an injury, if the common knowledge is to apply pressure in that area. That's self-medication. If you have pain, you can take a simple analgesic while you on your way to the hospital. While self-medication, basically the individual does not intend to consult a physician at that point. Is taking that wholly as the sole treatment for that. Yes.
So, sir, what are the factors affecting self-medication? Why do people indulge in self-medication, especially the youth and the adult?
The self-medication, I will not entirely blame it on an individual that is self-medicating. The first, just a natural instinct. If you have pain, you want to take an analgesic. And if you probably cannot sleep, think of other things. But some of the factors that have been implicated. One, knowledge. Probably knowledge from an individual. The person taking the self-medication probably has had a similar symptom before, and he took a particular drug and he had relief. So next time when such things happen or something similar to it, we will also assume that will also work. Secondly, information from friends, colleagues. When you have a particular symptom, you express your worries to a friend. The person will advise you, okay, I tried this before, use that. Then other things that have been implicated are things like attitude of health workers. Like a study that was conducted in Afe Babalola University found out that most of the students was done on undergraduates. Most of the students complained of the attitude of health workers, so they don't feel like going to the clinic, the hospital, university clinic. So if it's something I can manage, let me just manage it. But if there's nothing wrong in an individual taking something that has something as a temporary relief while consulting a physician.
Yeah, in conjunction with what you just said, you raised a particular aspect of sickness, talk about cancer.
Yes.
Now, using self-medication in cancer as a pain relief, don't you see money as a major problem why people indulge in self-medication?
The money is a part of it. But those other factors I listed, like knowledge base, friends, information from friends, access to internet and the rest of them, and then access to health facility. That could also be some people live in the village and don't have any. The closest hospital around them is a primary health center, which might not be manned by a physician. It might just be a community health extension worker. So, even if they get there, might not diagnose immediately. So access, money is there, but some can also rule out the rule of attitude in it. Some people have found that just as we are discussing, if we are to talk on a particular disease, it's not everything. I will not give you the nitty-gritty. That particular, it's just average knowledge. So if someone goes home with that, might mismanage himself or herself. Understand with that? Then of course, even the people that do advert on drugs or product, they say if symptoms persist after so and so,
a physician.
So you cannot rule out the role of physician. Even self-medication works for you. Probably if it comes again, even if it's the same ailment, it might not be the same way to manage it.
Thank you very much, sir. And another question that bothers me a lot is self-medication illegal?
Yes and no.
Is there any? Why is it yes and why is it no?
Yes of it is that I told you there's a responsible one. There's one
Yeah.
that someone with healthy knowledge can take and do that. But a situation where you've not diagnosed the ailment. Well, it's not illegal in the sense that law enforcement will come and pick you, but you will not be doing yourself justice. You're doing a lot of harm to yourself. And then there are also some drugs that are illegal drugs. They are not meant to be over-the-counter drugs. Like the opioids, strong opioids. Recently, not too long ago, the federal government banned tramadol.
Yeah.
And so the tramadol has been used. It's basically for pain relief. People don't use it for a lot of things because of the effect on the nerves it has. So they need to be alert. Even drivers take it. Drivers that travel long distance take it. It's a banned substance presently. It's a banned substance. A substance that is not. The other things that as I said, the opioids. Still on the opioids cause dependence and tolerance. So over time, you become dependent on them. Can't do without them.
They get addicted to it.
Yes, you get addicted to it and dependent on it. Keep taking them. Of course, the cost implicated. And meanwhile, the ailment has not been diagnosed and is not being treated. Yes.
Yeah, coming back to being fed up with technique that, and I know it is happening among youth also. Whenever they're coming to school, you see parents gather different kind of drugs inside nylon and say this one is for back pain, this one is for headache, this one is for liver pain. Everything being gathered together, bring it to school, and they start taking it. Now we find that the normal symptoms, normal problems students do face is headache. So, being a medical practitioner, what advice do you have for people who have symptoms of headache? Yes, being a normal one, because we've seen people who has just light headache and they can't even get where some even died in the course. So, what's your advice? I think when you were in that shoe back then, I would say right now, when you're in that shoe having headache, what do you use as a practitioner?
As I mentioned earlier, you will not entirely blame somebody that self-medicates, provided it's a temporary relief while you are seeking the advice of a physician. If you have headache, the normal response of normal individuals to take pain relieving agents, in this case paracetamol, which also the study I mentioned earlier showed that most of the individuals is paracetamol that was most implicated and they took self-medication. The drug they usually take, paracetamol, for the analgesic, and for the antibiotics is amoxicillin.
Okay, viewers, I think you've been informed and not deformed about the effect of self-medication on the program Inside Life. Well, talking about self-medication, we're able to get one or two facts about it. Self-medication is illegal. No matter what you try to do, do ensure you do the right thing at the right time. On this note, I am Lovely Mkokwe and Debne. Do have a lovely day ahead. Hope to see you next week for another different edition.
ọ̀rẹ́ alápá máa ṣiṣẹ́ olówó fẹ́ flex yo no food for lazy man pàdé double your work o anything wey you want to you go get am if you work o má wá gbọ́ alágò ṣiṣẹ́ o stop living fake life.